Hey everyone, Dan at Ochiko Bushcraft. Happy New Year's from Ochiko Bushcraft. Well guys, if you've watched my videos, you know that every year, sometime right around New Year's, I like to go on a survival hike and do a survival challenge. Basically, I take 3 items with me and that's it. You can check back over the past 2 years to see what I've done in previous survival hikes. But I take 3 items of gear and I have to go out and I have to obtain fire, some kind of shelter, and water with just those 3 items. So this year, sorry my eyes are watering, it is absolutely freezing cold out here, and I'm glad I got my big anorak on because I'm gonna need it. And the wind's blowing and I'm up on the high desert out of Central Oregon, and I'm going to challenge myself by trying to find a way to get out of this wind using some kind of natural shelter and get a fire going and then procure water. So my 3 items that I'm taking, in my previous videos I've taken different knives, Leatherman multi-tool, super tool. That's it. My knife, my saw, everything. This is my only blade. A 16-ounce stainless steel water bottle, which I'm going to put down in the leg of my BDUs. Keep it next to my leg so that it doesn't freeze. And one single match. One windproof, waterproof match. That's it. One shot at fire. If I mess up, the wind takes it, I'm done. This will be a fail. I've never done this before. I've taken my bottle of matches so I could keep trying. I've taken my ferro rod, multiple tries. This is the first time I've done a survival hike with one single match. So, load up here. And my bottle of water, which I'm going to refill with snow and hopefully have a fire to melt that snow and rehydrate. Okay. And as far as the way I'm dressed goes, I've got a couple layers of smart wool long johns under my anorak, wool cap, wool gloves, and I got on Danner boots, pronghorns with the 1,000 grams of Thinsulate, heavy wool socks, and believe me, I'm gonna need every bit of insulation I got today. All right, let's turn you guys around here. Take a look at where we're going. See my tracks that I came in on, and I'm just going to take off walking. And I have no idea where we're going or what we're going to find, but this is what I do every year on New Year's. I just come to a different place and head out on a survival hike. So, interesting little find here. Get around here where you can see that. Somebody didn't fare too well out here on their hike, and as you can see, this is coyote tracks. The coyotes have been out here in the snow. So they were over here gnawing on these bones. They're hunting for food. And see, there's all coyote tracks, one set going off that way, another set going off that way, and I saw rabbit tracks, and I think I saw deer tracks earlier as I was driving in. So what do we got going over here? Is that deer? Yeah, a little deer. Come right through here. Huh. And here's rabbit. See if you guys can see that. So there's been deer, a couple coyotes, and rabbits, and the carcass of something all in this area. Okay, man. It's cold, guys. So I don't know how far I'm gonna go. A lot of times on these hikes, I'll go for a couple miles. The idea is that, maybe I was out here hunting, riding my four-wheeler, which is something that I do. I'm actually going to cross a four-wheeler trail here, and show you guys if you can see right behind me. You see that trail going right behind me? That's a four-wheeler trail where four-wheelers come out here to ride. And so idea is that I'm out here and I've been riding a four-wheeler, going on a hike, hunting, whatever, and I'm lost. Now, the number one thing you're supposed to do when you leave, and I did it, is I told someone, if I'm not home by dark, this is the area I will be in, send someone looking for me. So I need to have water, I need to have fire, and I need to have some kind of insulation. Maybe I'm going to have to spend the night if someone doesn't come and rescue me and find me, if this scenario is real. So those are my three priorities. So what I'm going to do, boy, rabbit tracks everywhere, if you guys can see, but another rabbit went right through here. So I'm seeing a lot of rabbit tracks, one set of deer, and then those couple coyotes, and they were like all around those ribs that I found, so they were gnawing on them or something. But I'm using my tracks right now. It's not snowing, and I don't have a compass because I'm only taking 3 items. I'm walking towards the sun, so I'm using going into the sun and my tracks as direction. And of course there's a big ridge line over here to my left, so that I know that when I get back out of here, if it does start to snow and I turn around and that ridge line is to my right, there's a road running parallel, okay? So as long as that ridge line is to my right, even if I'm several hundred yards or quarter or half mile to the right or to the left, that road runs this way for miles and miles. So with that ridge line to my right, there's no way that I can help but hit that road. Once I hit that road, now I wouldn't know for sure if I'm right or left to my vehicle, which could extend to several miles of walking, but I won't be lost because I'll find that road and my vehicle is either right or left. So if snow happens, I'm good. All right, I'm gonna pause you guys, get out here and do some walking, some scouting. If I find anything interesting, more tracks, another carcass, live animals, game, anything, I'll click you guys back in. But I'm keeping my eyes out right now for a place to hunker down, and also maybe some fallen junipers where I can get something to get a fire going. Let's pause here. Okay, turn you guys around here. I want you to see what I'm looking at. There's some down junipers around me. Okay, you see that? And that's good and dry. That's firewood. And there's some big chunks here I can break off really easy. Look at that. So there's one here. There's another one right over here. Yeah, and that's all good dead stuff. Look at that. That'll burn. That will burn. Okay, I'm just gonna set that here right now. I'm surrounded by firewood, and I got a third one right there. So that is awesome, because what caught my eye is a couple of these huge junipers right here in front of me. And I'm thinking I'm gonna put my back up against one of these big junipers and get right up underneath it with my back to it, and get out of the wind. So let's see. The wind is coming at me. Okay. So this right here, and there's some more firewood right here. In fact, this small stuff, oh yeah, that's good and dry. Okay. I got a bunch of small stuff I'm gonna gather up, along with some bark and whatever else I can find that is dry. And under this tree, up under this tree, what have I got here? Rabbit tracks all around me. Yep. So those rabbits have been in here. I got a couple options here with these trees. So I'm gonna pause you guys. Okay. Figure out my wind direction, and that should be really easy. So you see that. Okay, the wind's blowing right that way. So I need to get my back behind one of these trees to the wind. And I see how I'm going to do that. So I'm going to pause you guys, and I'm going to set up a little area here. Okay, this is what I decided to go with. The wind's coming right towards you. So I'm going to use this tree as a wind block. And I've got a little bit of overhead cover here, right on up above me. So I don't know if I'll do much in the way of built-in cover, but I've got to get insulated from the ground. Okay, before I do any kind of a fire down in here, I've got to come up with some ground insulation. And I think my best option is to break off some sagebrush or cut it with my saw and my Leatherman and make a pile here. So let's get started on that. This is going to be a long, slow process. So I'm using my saw and my Leatherman, and I'm cutting sagebrush to make me some kind of ground insulation. I'll take you guys with me so you can see what I'm doing. I just walked up on a great big jackrabbit. He was in the brush over here and just took off out of there. Pretty cool. So basically I'm just cutting pieces of sagebrush until I get a pile to sit on that'll insulate me from the ground. So it's not going to be real comfortable, but that's the number one thing right now. I'm warm in these clothes, but if I sit down on the ground, it's going to suck the heat right out of me. So I got to have a bunch of this to sit on. So I'm going to pause you guys, and I'm just going to keep cutting until I get a pile of that. Okay. Well, I got some over there already, and I got me a start. I'm not breaking a sweat, so I'd be worried about getting damp, but I'm staying warm by my activity, which is nice. Okay, I'm going to need to add more to that, obviously, but for now, I'm going to kick out a spot right here in front of me for a fire. And make a pit in the sand, a little wall around it to help protect it from the wind. And that'll do it. That'll work. Show you what I got. So that right there, just digging down into the sand with some little walls will work. And I'm gonna stack up some more brush and sit on that brush and have that fire in front of me. And that big tree is blocking the wind from my back. Okay. I apologize, the view isn't real good. The light is kind of coming and going as the sun comes in and out of clouds. But the best place I've found to get any kind of tinder on the high desert is sagebrush bark. Down here underneath, see underneath, that's dry. There's long strings right here. More over here, oh yeah. Bunch more here. There we go. That's what I'm going to use to get my fire going. So I'm going to get a whole bunch of this. I'm surrounded by sagebrush, obviously, and it's wet on top, but underneath it's dry. This is all dry. And so I'm going to just keep pulling off here and move to some other big pieces and pull off more, and I'm going to just cram my pockets filled with this and take it back. Okay, I got a bunch more of that sagebrush and some juniper bark. I got up underneath a dry limb of a juniper tree and stripped off a bunch of bark. So I'm going to put that down in there and mix it with this sagebrush bark. And I'm going to go back and start breaking off a whole bunch of little tiny dry twigs. Maybe make some shavings with my Leatherman. And we'll see what happens. I want this, these little dry twigs. Like that, fine stuff that's dry on the inside. So I'm gonna just gather up handfuls of this and haul it back over there and put it on top of that sagebrush bark and juniper bark, and then get some bigger stuff as I go, and we'll see if we can't get a fire started. All right, my first load, hauling it back. Oh, I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying myself. Other people would be probably miserable out here, but this is what I do, and I'm not worried about it. I got all the firewood I need to have a roaring fire all night long, as long as I can get a fire going with one match. Let's see if you guys can see there at all. I'm just going to kind of crisscross this to a big old mess. Okay. All right. See if I can move you guys to a better angle. Okay guys, we're gonna try this. One lone match. Got my sagebrush bark, some juniper bark down here under all these limbs. It's either gonna go, or today is a complete failure. One match. I'm gonna get it down here so I can immediately get the flame down in that bark. Let's see if you guys can see that. It's burning. I'm going to blow on that a little bit. I almost lost it. It went all the way down to just some coals. And I almost lost it. We got her now. I'm gonna get some more stuff, small stuff on there and get to feeding that. So I don't want it to go out now. So bear with me. There we go. Well, I turned around to find my camera laying in the mud and snow. Let me pause you guys and clean this up. Oh, that wind just, I turned around and the wind apparently had dumped you guys right in the snow. So, we got a nice fire going. I got this big tree right behind me. That's my wind block. I'm gonna get more of this sagebrush, pile up, and that's gonna keep my rear end off the ground. So I've got a wind block, I got a fire, and in just a little bit, there we go. Turn around here. Just a little bit. We'll have warm water to drink. And obviously there's snow all around me, so I'll just let my containers stay there and stay warm. And as I drink water, I'll scoop up snow and put on it. And if it gets too messy, I'll use the corner of my shirt as a filter if I get a bunch of dirt or something in there. But there we go, fire, water, and as I said, we'll just add snow and keep adding snow. And hydrate. Oh, that thing's putting out some heat. Yeah, I'm gonna have warm water to drink here in a few minutes. So there it is, guys. This year's survival challenge, you know, is to just come out to a remote area, limit myself to 3 items, and obtain some kind of shelter, water, and fire. Now, I got some overhead covering in this tree. So if snow starts to come in, the one thing that I will do is I will take a bunch more of this sagebrush and a couple of these long limbs. I'll just break off right there. I'll lay them above my head between these limbs and put sagebrush up there. So I'll have a small covering over my head that will catch any snowfall if it starts to snow. Other than that, I'm good. I got a wind block. I'll have overhead covering if I need it. I got fire. I got warm water, and I got all that firewood right there. So assuming that I did the most important thing and let someone know where I'm at, I'm good till rescue shows up. And I did do that. So worst case scenario, sometime tonight or in the morning, they'll see my fire because I'm gonna get it roaring. They'll see my smoke, and I would be out of here. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed this.